Everybody, I keep on messing up my hair when I do that. Or should I say my wig? What's going on, everybody in Facebook land? Space Frehley here. I wanted to take a second and do a different kind of video. A lot of people have asked, have you ever met Ace? And the answer to that question is yes. I've met Ace twice in my whole life. But I want to tell you about the first time I met him because it's kind of a funny story. Actually, it's not super funny. Here's what happened. In 1994, Ace came to Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh. He played at a little club called Graffiti. It's no longer there. The building's still there, but the club's been long gone. I'm super excited because this is the first time Ace has been to Pittsburgh probably since 1988 when he came with Iron Maiden. I did not get the chance to see him at that time, but when he came with his band to Graffiti in May of 94, it was an over 21 show. I was only 16 years old at the time. So I figured the only way to meet him was to go down to the venue and wait outside and hopefully catch him when he gets there. Great idea, right? So we go down there. I was with my high school girlfriend. You know, we're hanging out with like 20 other guys, and we waited for maybe, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. Now, we were on the side of the club, and there was a long alleyway that came down from the main road. And sure enough, after a little while, a silver van starts coming down the alleyway. And we're all looking, and I'm looking at who's driving the van. I later learned that it was George Suet, former Kiss road manager during the Dynasty Tour and the Unmasked Tour. And I look in the passenger seat, and there he is, Ace Frehley. And my heart is racing. I'm 16 years old, and I'm thinking, there he is. He's right there. He's in the van. I'm going to get to meet Ace. So the van stops right in front of us because we were waiting by the side door that lets you into the club. And the door to the van opens on the passenger side, and we all as a group kind of go around to the side of the van. Ace gets out of the van, walks right up to the stairs, goes into the building, doesn't say a word to anybody. And it happened so quickly. Not only Ace, but all of them did that. None of them said hello to us. They all just went inside, and that was that. And so when I was waiting outside, I had a Les Paul Studio. It was white. It was my first Les Paul I had ever bought. I'm not going to be able to get him to sign the guitar now because he didn't meet any of us. I didn't want to lug the guitar around with me the rest of the night, so I took it to the car and put it in the trunk. We figured, well, we'll just wait for the show to start. Now, mind you, it was an over 21 show, so I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get in. The crowd of guys, that were standing outside of the building when Ace got there, one of them discovered that the front door of the club was open. And so naturally, we all went around the front and went inside. Now, Graffiti was on 2 floors. The second floor was where the stage room was, and there was a little bar restaurant area outside of the stage room. The stage room was cut off by doors. You couldn't access it. But we're all in the area outside of where the stage room is, and we're all just kind of hanging out, and we see no trace of anybody, but we can hear some commotion that's going on in the stage room. And there's a long hallway, and I'm standing right before this hallway begins, and on the right side of the hallway, there's 2 doors, which I didn't realize at the time were the women's restroom and the men's restroom. And all of a sudden, the men's restroom door opens, and out walks Ace. I froze, like I didn't know what to do. There he is, he's about 25 feet away from me. And before I could do anything, everybody starts running past me towards him. And I think, well, run up to him. And so at this point, we kind of mob him. Probably 20 or 30 of us people now congregating around him. Honestly, Ace was really cool. He was nice. He was accommodating. He signed things for people. He didn't want any photographs taken. That I remember. He just was conversational, and he looked so cool. He had a black leather jacket on with a lot of accessories. He had chains on. He had shades. His hair looked good. It was very black, wavy. He looked kind of like he did during the Trouble Walking era. Leather pants and leather boots. I mean, he looked like Ace. Like I was right next to him at one point, and he's signing things for people, and I could see like this portion of his face, and I'm looking, and I'm almost envisioning where the points of his makeup go. Wow, that's really him. Here I am standing right next to him. This is somebody I've only seen on TV. and in magazines and in pictures, and I'm right next to him, and he's got that voice. He's got the Bronx high-pitched voice. Hey, Carly. Well, it was my turn to talk to him. I didn't have anything for him to sign. He didn't want any photos taken. And I looked at him and I said, Ace, can I shake your hand? And without saying anything, he just put his hand out. And when he did, I grabbed his hand with both of mine. And I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just remember his hand felt huge. Like, to me, this guy just seemed like a giant. He did seem very tall, but just in a non-literal sense. He just was a giant to me personally. This was the guy that made me want to play guitar, along with Kiss and Bruce Kulick. I've been doing artwork my whole life. I'm a graphic designer by trade. And I had done a portrait of Ace, of his face half in makeup and half not. If you remember that 1993 Guitar World spread where it was makeup and non-makeup, I had done a portrait like that, and it had won first place in a local art show, and it still had the blue ribbon on it. And it was pretty big, you know. It was maybe like an 18 by 24. I showed it to him, and he goes, hey, what do you got? And I said, Ace, I want to just show you this portrait I did of you. And it won first place in an art competition. I'd just like to give this to you for your birthday. Because it was early May, and obviously Ace's birthday being April 27th, his birthday had happened maybe a week or two before. And I think he was a little taken back by it, because he was signing things for people, and he was a little pulled in different directions. But when I handed that to him, he stopped and he looked at me and he goes, oh, thanks, I'll put it on my wall. And everybody said, yeah, the wall of his basement. That was nice that he took a second just to acknowledge that for me. I think after that, you know, he got whisked away to do sound check, and we were all kicked out of the venue. I am happy to say that when it was time to actually go into the club, I walked up to the ticket office. I pulled all my hair in front of my face and tried to lower my voice a little bit and say, yeah, I need a ticket. They never ID'd me. They just took my money and let me and my girlfriend at the time walk right in. It was an over 21 show, and I was 16 years old. We walked right up to the front of the stage. I was probably 4 people deep from the stage, where at one point he grabbed the girl's hands who was in front of me, and I could see, I don't know where my Ace ring is at, but I could see that Ace ring on his hand. It was just super cool. I was so close when he did the smoking guitar that we were all housed in smoke. First time I ever got to see him, May of '94, at Graffiti in Pittsburgh, PA. That's the story of the first time I met Ace. And then I would meet him again in 2011 at a meet and greet. And yes, I have a photo with him. Of course, I wasn't doing Space Frehley at that time, so it's just me. And if you don't know, when I don't have this stuff on, I look nothing like this. That's it. That's the time I met Ace. Thank you all for all the support you've shown me as Space Frehley, and we got some shows coming up. I'm going to be in Cleveland next month in June, and I'm going to be in Detroit September 11th with Nightmare, an Alice Cooper tribute band. So if you're in that area, come check us out. So thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate it. From yours truly, Space Frehley. I'll see you next time.